Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are dissecting one of the most iconic, and let's be honest, one of the most enigmatic songs ever put to tape, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Right from the very first line, the song just pulls you into the state of uncertainty, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the stage for the next 6 minutes of pure musical genius that really defies any simple category.
I mean, think about it. It's a 6-minute-long song with no chorus. It mashes together totally different genres of music. It basically broke every single rule of what a pop song was supposed to be in 1975. And yet, decades later, it's still a global phenomenon.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What is this song actually about? Well, that's what we're here to do. We're going to unpack the layers of this masterpiece to understand not just what it might mean, but how it creates such a powerful, lasting effect on all of us.
Aesthetically, you have to see this song as a giant puzzle. It's a perfect example of what you might call postmodern hybridity. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying it deliberately mixes together conflicting styles and ideas, and it absolutely refuses to give you one simple, straightforward answer.
You've got this beautiful ballad which flows into a completely over-the-top opera parody, which then explodes into hard rock. Instead of a linear plot, the song takes us on a journey through a whole sequence of really intense emotional states. And that journey, well, it's not random at all. If you look closely, the song's structure follows a very clear emotional arc. It's like we're taking a voyage through a fractured psyche. You see, the song's wild musical shifts actually map onto this really powerful emotional progression. We start with a confession in the ballad section, then we're plunged into the chaos of the opera, followed by an outright rebellion in the hard rock part, before it all ends in a quiet resignation. The structure itself is telling the story.
So the ballad opens with this absolutely shocking confession. But most people agree this murder isn't meant to be literal. It's symbolic. It represents the killing of a former self. A dramatic and final break with your past.
And from there, we dive headfirst into the most unconventional part of the song, that famous opera section. This is where that inner conflict truly explodes into a million pieces. Now, to get that sound, Queen used a technique called polyphony, which just means they layered tons of independent vocal melodies. But this wasn't just a technical flex. Sonically, it creates the feeling of an inner tribunal, like a chaotic argument is happening inside the narrator's head, with all these different voices fighting for control. And this inner chaos is just filled with a whirlwind of surreal characters. All of a sudden, strange theatrical figures like Scaramouche just appear out of nowhere. Then historical figures like Galileo get name-dropped, as if the narrator is calling on higher powers for judgment. And then even the demonic name, Beelzebub, is thrown into the drama, which raises the stakes to a whole other spiritual level. And what a transition! That abrupt shift into distorted guitars and a driving rhythm feels like pure, unfiltered defiance. It's the sound of someone finally fighting back against all those judging voices. Finally, the coda brings the song to a close. It's this quiet return to resignation, an acceptance of fate. But here's the thing. There's no neat resolution. The conflict just kind of fades away, leaving us all in this beautifully ambiguous state.
Okay, so after that entire fragmented emotional journey, how can we possibly piece together what it all means? Well, there are at least two really compelling ways you can look at it.
So here's the crucial thing. Both of these interpretations are totally plausible. You can see it as an inner drama about guilt and growing up, or you could see it as a bigger statement about art itself, that meaning and identity are always kind of broken and can't be perfectly harmonized. And both of these ideas hinge on the song's completely unconventional structure. And this brings us right to the central takeaway, the absolute genius of Bohemian Rhapsody. It's not just about what the song says, it's about how it says it. The song's most radical choice, having no chorus to come back to, is absolutely essential to its meaning. It denies us that safe, familiar anchor point, which forces us to experience the theme of fragmentation and conflict right there alongside the narrator. This just brilliantly illustrates how the emotional impact is created because of those formal breaks, not in spite of them. Those jarring, whiplash-inducing transitions, they are the entire point. Ultimately, Bohemian Rhapsody is a masterpiece because it doesn't just tell a story, it makes us experience the very process of struggling for meaning in a completely chaotic world. The form is the message.
And that's the enduring genius of it all. Bohemian Rhapsody never gives us a final, neat answer. Instead, it leaves us with this big open question, inviting us to listen again and again and to feel something totally new every single time.